Halloween. It's a franchise that somehow keeps finding new excuses to exist. So, in light of the upcoming Halloween Kills, I thought I'd take a look back, way back, at where it all began, with John Carpenter, 43 years ago.
Excuse me, Laurie.
Oh, Mr. Brackett, I'm sorry, Mr. Brackett.
Oh, I didn't mean to startle you.
That's all right.
You know, it's Halloween. I guess everyone's entitled to one good scare, huh?
Like all the good Carpenter movies, Halloween is swimming in atmosphere. It does show its age, but considering it's almost single-handedly responsible for the entire slasher genre, you can forgive it. It's creepy, suspenseful, and voyeuristic. Carpenter's films have a really distinct look that's more real than most movies. David Fincher. In this movie, that makes for a couple really grueling moments. But we'll get there. I want to keep this one brief and casual. This is Movies with Atmosphere. Fast forward. Before any visuals, that famous Halloween theme music starts right in on. By the time we see the jack-o'-lantern, we get the picture. Scary. Of course, you can't talk about any John Carpenter movie without talking about his music. Carpenter, the son of a music teacher, scores most of his films. It's some fans' favorite thing about his movies, and some could take it or leave it. I love the Carpenter scores. They're great to drive to. But even if you don't, or even if you think they suck...
I'm not saying that I've been everywhere and I've done everything.
You can't deny the success of the Halloween theme. Out of Carpenter's 71 soundtrack credits, 48 are for the Halloween theme. It's become part of pop culture outside the film. That's what we call iconic. But it's not just the main theme that works. Carpenter's music has very much to do with Halloween's success. Check out this droning bit of score when Michael heads up the stairs. And the musical stings. I love the push-in on the pumpkin's eye, too. It's spooky, but it's more than that. It's a subtle introduction to the way Carpenter is going to use the camera throughout the movie, as a voyeur's eye, constantly watching our lead characters. Even when Michael himself is on camera, or it couldn't possibly be his point of view, the shots still mimic a stalker watching Laurie and her friends, watching from afar and lingering a little too long. And, in fact, it's a literal POV in the famous opening scene, setting up the perspective for the rest of the film brilliantly. Voyeuristic, suspenseful, up-close horror. Some other great examples of the stalker perspective. The very first shot of Laurie, the slow push-in on her in the classroom, the camera watching her from across the room sets up Michael watching her from across the street. And the whole scene of the girls walking home from school is filled with stalker vision. It's these elements, and certainly more, that elegantly build a convincing small-town horror story. Outside pure evil Michael Myers and Looney Loomis,
The evil is gone.
the movie feels like a realistic high school drama. Having normal, identifiable characters plays powerfully on our sympathies. There were two scenes in particular that I found hard to watch.
Lindsay, get this dog out of the kitchen right now.
Laurie's friend Annie is grating.
Lindsay, Lester's barking again and getting on my nerves again.
But her death scene is vicious, and I felt horrible for her. We have to sit through every moment of her struggle. Made my skin crawl. That the movie can take a character I didn't like and make me feel so bad for her. She is just a kid after all. That's exceptional filmmaking. The other one that did it for me was right after Michael first attacks Laurie, and she runs next door for help. The neighbor looks right at her, but just closes the blinds and shuts off the light. It's awful. Worse than gore, if you ask me. Halloween doesn't need blood and guts. It disgusts you with human behavior. It's kind of deep. One last shot I have to mention before we go. Loomis and the nurse arrive at the hospital and find mental patients wandering around aimlessly in the dark. It's gotta be one of the most disturbing images in the whole movie. Damn spooky. So, there it is. A short look at some of the atmospheric elements that help make John Carpenter's Halloween an all-time classic. The man knows what he's doing.